Hey guys, sorry I'm a little bit late. Always technical difficulties trying to get the camera going. But we are doing a bonus class today just because I know everyone is kind of stuck inside. I hope no one thinks that I'm ignoring the current situation going on. I'm doing an extra class today because honestly, I think it's good to have a distraction. I know, at least me personally, if I focus too much on the news, I start getting stressed out and anxious, and it just isn't good. So I thought, okay, today's a perfect time just to have a Sunday together. We'll go over some fun techniques today. So today's class was highly recommended from you guys. Hi, Beverly. Hi, Rara. Janine. Amarte 522. Nice to see you guys. I hope everyone's surviving and just doing okay. I'm gonna put, no, we aren't gonna put earrings in today. I was like, forgot to put those in. But as everyone's jumping on, today's class is gonna be all about over 35, and I'm actually starting with skincare, going straight through to foundation routine. And then I have some questions from you guys on Twitter asking about specific things that you're having issues with. And I'm going to pull in the camera super close, get in so you guys can see my eye bags. I've got spots and things going on. We're going to go over how to hide, not really hide, but to kind of correct some of that. I don't like using the word hide because we're not trying to hide our skin because all skin is beautiful. Anyways, hi, Melissa Alexander. Mackenzie, first time in years, no church on Sunday. I know it's kind of surreal, you guys. It's like, what is going on? It feels like kind of a movie of some sort. I'm in a little bit of a daze, so I have to focus on this. Hi, Marlena. Thanks for posting Instagram. I've been using the Elemis. I've got it for today's video, and I'm gonna shave today too. Can't believe I'm gonna do this on camera. You guys are in for a treat today. Anyways, let me pin my hair back and I'm just gonna answer questions as we go along. So feel free to ask me anything that you guys want. I've got my water here. I've got my washcloth. We're gonna start with skin. I have not washed my face this morning. I washed it last night. So this is my kind of bare skin. I'm gonna go through some of my skincare routine because I feel like if you don't have a good base, it doesn't matter what you can do on top of it. You can have all this foundation, but if your skin doesn't feel right underneath, it's gonna really affect your base. So we're gonna go through that first. So I have a couple products. None of this is sponsored. I'll let you guys know if any of this was given to me. I think the only thing that was given to me out of all of this was the Pixie brand, which is amazing, really good stuff, but nothing sponsored. Okay. If you have any remaining eye makeup on, I like using everything we're going to use today for anti-aging. If you're over 35, is very creamy, very soft, very gentle. You don't want anything that's stripping your skin at all. So, hi, Joelle from NorCal. Yay! So I'm going to use, this is just something I use if I feel like there's a little bit remainder of makeup, and it's the Pixie Hydrating Milky Makeup Remover. Looks like this here. They have a whole line. I was going to show you guys. This was sent to me, but again, I'm not paid to talk about it at all. It was really cool. So they have this whole Hydrating Milky line that they sent. I thought it was really cute. Look at the cute packaging on that. It looks like a little milk carton. And all of it's paper, so it's recyclable, which I thought was brilliant. Very smart of that. But they have a whole 6-step line that is all hydrating, milky stuff, great for 35 and older. So I'm going to use one of the things from that today. I haven't got a chance to use all of it. Okay, so hydrating makeup remover. We're going to start just to make sure I don't have anything left over from last night. Just kind of clear this off. And then what I like to do for a cleanser, does micellar water, I don't know how to say it, you guys. I'm like, pregnancy brain is real. Does it strip the skin of moisture? I haven't noticed that at all. I've used that. I used the Elemis one. I haven't noticed it at all. Okay, so I'm going to start with my cleanser. The one I'm really liking, you guys can tell it's half gone. I got this at Target. Hi, Target. It's the Boots number 7 Skin Beautiful. Their Age Defiance Cleanser. It's a milky cleanser, so I'm going to show you guys. It's very soft, very creamy. So I'm going to, I've got my little water here, mix it with some water. And in the morning, I don't use anything harsh. And if you feel like your skin's really clean and you don't need to cleanse, don't, just kind of freshen it up with a little bit of toner, little moisturizer. But do you see how creamy it is? It's nothing harsh. So I'm just gonna take my washcloth and yeah, my skin's dry, it doesn't strip mine. Yep. I love that you guys are answering each other's questions. Okay, so I just take a gentle washcloth and I just wipe that off. So nothing too harsh, very gentle, very soft and everything like that. And then I'm gonna dry it off. Okay, what I'm gonna show you, don't think I'm crazy. I have peach fuzz. I don't think I've ever done this on camera before, have I? Once every 2 weeks, I use a razor to shave my peach fuzz. And this is how I get a really smooth base. Get a fresh razor. If anyone has some more environmentally friendly ones, let me know. I just get the cheap ones from Target because I use a fresh one every 2 weeks on my face. And once I'm done with it on my face, I use it for my legs and my hoo-ha afterwards. Do not listen to me. Don't go in the shower and get your hoo-ha razor and use it on your face. You want a fresh one. I'm just gonna say it right there. Grab a fresh one. This will break you out if you use one on your hoo-ha and then go onto your face. You have to have one specifically for your face. Don't laugh at me, you guys know I'm right. Leave the hoo-ha razor in the shower. Leave the face one on the counter so you have two separate ones. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Okay, so I'm gonna take this. I'm just gonna come down. I've done this so many times. My little sideburns here, I've nicked them, and then I have a little sideburn, like a little Elvis sideburn. It's so bad. It is so bad. So pull out this guy so you don't give yourself an Elvis. And I'm just gently kind of doing this. Now, I will say this, if you guys have sensitive skin, be extremely careful with this because it can be dry and irritating. So I am going to show you how I'm going to counteract that with lots of moisture and all of that stuff. So just be careful. Don't give me semi-hate mail saying that I tried this, I broke out. Just try it once. It's not for everyone, but for me, my skin tolerates it, but I do have to be careful. And I only do this once every 2 weeks. And I have to do this because I'm so fuzzy. You can't see it on camera, but I'll show you the razor. It's kind of gross. Can you guys see how much fuzz is in there? Do you see that? Get the mustache. And I do under here, get my chin. I can't believe I'm doing this on camera, you guys. I hope you appreciate the embarrassingness. How embarrassing this is, but whatever. Gotta do what I gotta do. Get under the chin, because we all know it's gonna be under the chin. Okay, and that's all I do. So I make sure that I've got all of my, if I look in the light, you can't see the peach fuzz that I had there. Okay, so then after this is then when I can go through and I can do a little tone or do a little moisturizer. The one I really like, please tell me I have it here. It's actually by Aesthetic Arts. It's their hydration mist. It's this guy right here. And I'll link to it for you guys. This is a small woman-owned company that I love to support because she's super sweet. Her products are amazing. So I use this. You can either just spray it directly on your face, or you can take a little cotton pad, spray it on here, and face shave club right here. I hear you, Summer. I hear you. Does it grow back soft or coarse? It grows back soft for me. I haven't noticed a difference in the texture because basically what I'm shaving is just my peach fuzz. I mean, I have a little bit of hairs on my chin, especially since I've been pregnant. It's like, whew, Lord help us. There is a lot of hair going on here. I don't know what is going on, but I haven't noticed it get any worse. So yeah, if you guys can put in the comments below if there's some environmentally friendly razors or something, because I do feel really guilty about these because they are plastic. I hate using that, but I cannot use a used razor on my face. I just can't. Okay, so face is hydrated. Now what I like to do is just my moisturizer, and sometimes I'll mix it with a little oil. So I'm going to use this one. It is pricey, but it's so good. I promise it's worth it. No, I'm not sponsored from them. Elemis, their Pro Collagen Marine Cream is one of the best moisturizers I've ever used. It's such a good brand. I love all of their products. So I'm going to take a little bit of that, and I'm going to hydrate in here. I come down the neck, put it on here. I put a little bit on my eyes. My forehead gets super dry, but and then what's left I always put on the back of my hands. So I love this so much. Now, the other thing I was going to say, and I'm not going to demonstrate today, is a couple times a week you guys should exfoliate, because if your foundation is showing up patchy on your skin and you have dry patches, you have to exfoliate. And I do that twice a week. I'm all out of it, but it's this brand called Darfon. It's like empty. It's a French brand. So if anyone's in Europe and can get your hands on Darfon, it's amazing. It's their anti-aging dermabrasion kit. It's very soft exfoliator, works amazing. I love that. And then a few times a week, I do a mask, and you guys can tell I like this one too. This is my second jar, and it's half empty. It's the Herborian Bamboo Water Lock, and it's like this kind of jelly. It kind of reminds me of like Nickelodeon slime, but it's really cooling. So I put a layer of that on. Can you guys see it? And I take my bath, I do some reading, I give myself a little spa treatment. I put it on there and then wipe it off. And then I put my moisturizer on and my skin feels so amazing. So amazing. Okay, so face is done. Let's get into the foundation part. Okay, a lot of you guys were asking, let me put my bowl of water over here. A lot of you guys were asking about under the eyes. We're definitely gonna talk about that today. If you feel that your eyes are dry and you need some extra cream on there, put it on now. I like the Murad one. You can tell because this is almost empty and the writing's all scratched off. It's the Renewing Eye Cream. It's one of my favorites. It is pricey, but I've literally had this over a year now, and it's still, I'm at the very top, but I'm still making it work. I'm on the very last bit. So if you need eye cream, put it on. If you have oily skin or your eyes are fine, they don't need this extra hydration, then go ahead and skip this. As I try not to poke my eye out. Hi, Anne, I'm doing good. Yes, thanks for this. I just turned 35 and the lines and pores are coming out. I feel you on that one. Okay. Oh, good. Thanks, Glam Kitty, for giving me, you guys are giving me suggestions for the razors. That's good. Okay. There's the eye cream. I just patted it like that. Look at my skin. Do you guys see in the light how hydrated and moisturized it is right there? So that's what we want. We want it to feel very soft, very supple. If you have any spots now, this is where you have to kind of do the skin test and feel your skin. Make sure your hands are clean. Don't be eating Cheetos and then come back and pat your face. If you feel like you have any dry spots left on your skin, like for me, my forehead always gets really dry, so I need a little extra moisture. So this is where I go in with a little bit of oil. I like the rosehip one, almond oil, jojoba. There's tons of different oils you can get. You can get them at your natural food store. You can get them on Amazon. So I'm gonna take a little bit of the rosehip seed oil, and I'm gonna put it on my lips and my forehead because my lips get dry too. Okay, so I'm gonna do a couple drops. Take a little bit on my finger, and I'm going to put it on my forehead because I know it gets dry. So I'm gonna let this all sit, and then my lips, I put some on my lips. Oh, did I nick right there? I did. See, I told you guys it's a hazard. It's what I get for talking while I do razor. Be careful with the razor. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna leave all that here. Okay, now we can start going into our skin. So what I was going to say for concealer and under the eyes, okay, this is really important about your guys' skin. That's why I talk about this foundation so much, is because it's really important. Where did it go? There it is. Okay, it's really important when we are older that you use a thin formula. So I'm gonna show you guys the texture on camera so you can see what I'm talking about. That way you don't feel like you have to buy the exact foundation I'm using. You guys know I love the Dermablend. I've never been sponsored from them. I just really love it. But I'm gonna show you why. It's, if you have dry skin, this works. If you have oily skin, you may not like this because it does have some oil in it. But I wanna show you the texture. Any sort of dropper foundation like this, like Cover FX has one, Dermablend has one. There's a few brands that have dropper foundations, and I know they kind of went out of favor the last couple years, but let me show you guys the texture. Do you see how thin it is? But look at the pigmentation. That is no joke. You want something like this that's highly pigmented but really thin, because the thicker foundation you go, that's where you're gonna get cakey, especially under the eyes. If you want a very flawless look, you have to get something that's thin in texture so it doesn't look thick and layer up on the skin. So let me show you guys. I'm gonna just show you with a brush like this. So if you're in a hurry and you don't wanna do a full face of makeup, but you really just need coverage in some areas. I took some of this on the back of my hand with a brush, and let me show you. So I go in here. This is my trouble areas under my eyes. Do you guys see? And then my nose too. Let me put a little bit more on here. And then we can do full face if you guys want. Okay, so put it on here. I'm gonna pick up a little bit. Let me show you. This is the trick to really hiding any eye bags, is to find something that's very pigmented but thin. And I'll show you the difference with some of my other foundations I have. Okay, can you guys see that right there? Everything's still very creamy, it's very dewy. I need a little bit on my chin because I get redness down here, like that. You don't have to apply a full face of it. If it's pigmented enough, you can spread this bad boy all over with just that little brush right there. You see that? Okay, so that's what we're doing there. Do you see how it's covering really well? Look at my eye bags have almost disappeared. Let me show you the difference in a different foundation. So for example, you guys know that I love, like for a matte foundation, this one, the Beautifully Matte Boots number 7, the Pump Stock Birking. So I had to cut off the cap. But let me show you what I mean by the difference in texture. Do you see how that's thicker? Can you guys see how, look how it's sitting on the skin, it's thicker. I love this foundation, but I don't recommend this if you have fine lines under the eyes and all that, because we gotta love YouTube cutting me off. Anyways, here's the thick foundation. Do you guys see the difference, how this looks thicker here? Then here it's a lot thinner. So whenever you're buying a foundation, it doesn't matter what brand or anything, just make sure that it's not a thick foundation, that's a lot thinner of one. So let me go ahead and wipe this off with, we'll just take my washcloth here. Okay, so I'm gonna finish my face with this foundation, and then we're gonna go over tips for under the eyes. So if you have dark circles under the eyes, go in with that high pigment foundation. If you have a concealer you love, make sure it's not something really thick. Like I know everyone loves the Shape Tape from Tarte, all of those. If they're really thick, you guys, it's going to look cakey under here because it's not a thin formula. You guys need to use something that's not too thick. So let's go ahead and take the drop here. And I'm gonna take a buffing brush like this. It's really stiff like this. And I'm going to put this one on here. And we're just going to buff this in the skin. Just like that. There we go. And just buff, 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 buff. There we go. Okay. Put it down here, just like that. Okay, let me do another one. Take just a little bit more, and we're gonna put it just on the forehead, just like that. Okay, there we go. And do you guys see how my skin still looks very soft and supple? Okay. Now let me show you what to do for under the eyes to set it. So one of the #1 questions, let me go over it. So on my Twitter questions, almost every one of you guys was asking, let me see, like Erin, little Erin Tron said, if I set my under eye with powder, my lines bust out for all to see. If I don't set it, I have issues with it wearing all day. Any suggestions to combat it? I'm gonna show you really quick. Okay. To set under the eyes, what sometimes I'll do is I'll take that same dome brush and I'll wipe it off really good on my towel. And I take the eyeshadow. I just use one from Makeup Geek just because it's what I have. I go with something that's a little bit lighter than my skin. I'm going to show you on this side, and then we're going to do another technique on this side. The key to setting under your eyes is to pick up a little amount of powder. So can you guys see on the edge of my brush? I didn't pick up a lot, but I just picked up enough to really lightly set it. You want to use the least amount of powder possible. Now, for those of you guys who have oily lids, you want to put some powder on your lids as well, just like that. Right there. You guys see that? Okay, so the other way to do it for under the eyes is if you take some loose powder and where's my loose powder? Okay, so the couple that I like, there's the Laura Mercier one, and then I also like the Fenty Beauty one like this. What oil works well for adding a couple drops to foundation? I love the rosehip oil. I think it's amazing. It's cheap. It's you can get it anywhere. You can get it at most stores. It's amazing. Okay, I'm gonna use actually let's use the Laura Mercier. Fenty, I really like this one, but I also like the Laura Mercier. So the trick to setting under the eyes for 35 and older is to take a sponge. This is just a Makeup Geek sponge, and then wet it so it's nice and soft. Do you guys see how soft that is? Take your loose powder, and I'm gonna pick it up in here. I'm gonna scrape off the excess because I don't want a lot. I know it looks like a lot, but it's not because I scraped off the rest of it. I'm going to pat it gently under there like that. So it's enough to set it, but it's not so thick of a powder that it's going to look cakey. Let me get in. Can you guys see? So I have a line, a ridge right here. And I really just kind of pat that in there. Just like that. So that's another way to do it. I prefer personally doing this with just an eyeshadow or a pressed powder because it's really, really light. You just have to be careful to use a really soft brush. If it's too stiff, it's going to pick up the foundation in there. Does that make sense, you guys? Do you have questions on there? I'm excited that she's doing this, that she did tutorials for hooded eyes. Yes, I will try to do a dedicated one for hooded eyes as well. Okay. Now for the face and all of that, did you guys notice I didn't put powder anywhere else on my face? If you have oily skin, you're gonna skip the oil step. You're not gonna do this. And what you can do is put powder around your T-zone. And I do the same thing where I just take that brush and I go in with an eyeshadow and I can just put a little bit right in here. I'm not gonna bake. I'm not gonna put it on the outer part of my face. I'm just gonna put it around the parts that I get oily, like the center of my nose. My chin gets a little oily. So if you have oily skin, it's all about just strategically doing a little bit of powder like this. Just like that. Hi, Jennifer. I use Physicians Formula Bright Boost. I haven't tried that one. That one sounds really good. Okay, let's do some contouring and all of that. The other tip for 35 and older skin is to use creams wherever possible. Powder is not our friend. Powder is not our friend. Baking is not our friend. What else isn't our friend? It is not. Use creams wherever possible. So when I do contouring or bronzing and all of that, I am going to do a little powder, but I start off first with a cream. I use the Fenty sticks. I've shown you guys this a few times before. Whatever brand that you guys have, it could be a cream concealer, it could be a bronzing, a cream bronzer, all of that stuff. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to come under here. I know it's going to look harsh at the beginning, but I want to do creams. And then my chin, because as I get older, this starts to get a little soft in here. I'm going to carve that out too. And then I just take a dome brush like this one. Sorry, it's wet because I just washed it. You must try the Physician Formula. I'm not going to try this on there. Okay. I'm 60-year-old. Any suggestions on underneath the eyes? Yeah, so definitely use a thin formula that's highly pigmented. Don't use thick concealers or foundations. And then when you set it with powder, do the lightest amount of powder possible so it doesn't get cakey. I think this brush is too wet, so let me grab a different one, you guys. I'm so sorry. Let me just I'll use this one. This is the Makeup Geek angled stippling brush. Okay. Do you guys see how I'm doing this motion? Because I didn't put any powder out here, it's easy to blend. Look how crazy that blended out, right? Because it's cream on cream. And I just want a light layer, and I'm blending it upwards like this. Under here, I'm just gonna buff this out. I'm gonna carve out my jawline, just like that. If it feels too dark under there, you can go back in with your sponge we used earlier and kind of buff this out. Does that kind of make sense? So cream on cream. We aren't going to set this with any powder up here. we're just gonna use creams, just like that. Now, if I want to use a little powder and I feel like I can handle it, I can wipe off this brush. And sometimes what I do is I'll go in with just a pressed powder that's a little bit darker than me. This is a MAC Fix Plus Studio Fix powder. It's NC43, which obviously is not my skin color, but I chose something that's just a little bit warm. And you can apply a little bit of powder, but not much. Because I still want, do you see how my skin still looks very dewy and creamy? Because I'm not using a ton of powder. I'm being very strategic on it. Just like that. Okay. Now for blush and highlighter, I want to go really soft. I'm going to use this one for now until Makeup Geek has blushes coming out in the next couple months or so. We just ordered them. They're really beautiful. They're not too matte. They're kind of a satin finish, but until then, I'm going to use the Jouer one. And it's kind of a shimmery finish here. So I'm going to do just a little bit of this. I know this is powder, but it's a soft kind of dewy finish powder. You guys see that right there? But I didn't lose my shine because again, we're trying not to do too much powder, just a little bit like that. Okay. Now for on top of the cheekbones, if you want to do a cream highlighter, the one I really like is the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. And I love this. The brush that I'm using, I forgot who asked that. It's the Makeup Geek angled stippling brush. I think we still have them in stock. This is my favorite cheek brush because I contour with it because it's angled. So it goes up under here. And then I use it for blush. And then I can even use it for foundation because it gets under the eyes. I love this brush a lot. Okay, Charlotte Tilbury has a cream highlighter. It's their Hollywood Flawless Filter. This is the color number 2 in light. And what I like to do is I'll put some on my hand and then I take my sponge. I'm going to pick some up in it and I'm going to pat it on here. Let me see if you guys can see. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? It gives me a glow, but it doesn't make me look too glittery, if that makes sense. Just like that. Right there. So that's my skin routine for older skin, just because everything's very creamy, very dewy, and all of that stuff. So Marlena, what shade are you in the Derma Blend? I am on, I'm number, the number is worn off, 25, 25N. The color down below from that is 10, but it's kind of, their color selection is not amazing. I will say that. Look at the difference between those two. So I buy number 10 and number 25, and sometimes I'll mix the two together, or if it's in the winter and I'm really fair, I just go for number 10. So somewhere in there. So yes. Thanks for the live tutorial. Can you drop the video? Yes, I will make sure to do that on there. Okay. What I want to do really quick, you guys, is go through some of your questions, and then I want to demonstrate anything that you guys have questions about so I can really, really answer it. So number 1, it says, this is from Jen, Chick with the pen. Can we wear fun colors and glitter? Hell yes, you can. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys this really quick too. Actually, let me do another question that I want to demonstrate for the neck too, because I want to talk about this a little bit. Where does it say? I forgot who asked it, but someone said that the chest, as we get older, we have sun damage here. I do makeup on my chest, and I use the Derma Blend one too. Let me show you guys how to do that. I've never had problems with this getting on my clothes because I do a really thin layer. So we're gonna do the same technique I did on my face. I pick up a couple drops on here, and then do you guys see, let me get up here. Do you see my chest, how I have lots of sun damage? I have some freckles and stuff like that. You want to make sure if your skin looks really flawless up here, that if your neck and your chest is exposed, you've got to put a little bit down here, even if it's just a light layer like that, because look now how my chest and my face are all kind of flawless and they all blend in. If I just do my face and I have this beautiful, like, you know, dewy, fresh, clean, flawless look, and then I've got sun damage down here, it looks very different. So I always, I put some foundation down my neck and on my chest. I don't really powder it because I don't feel like I need it, but if you guys do feel that you need a little powder, you can just pick up, because I'm not worried about my chest looking cakey at all. You can take some of the loose powder and that same brush that I used earlier. Whew. You guys see all that? You can set it with a little bit of powder. I usually don't, and I haven't had it get on my clothes, but I'm not oily. I'm not in a hot environment. I'm in Washington. It's very cold, so I don't. If I was in like Miami or something, maybe I would probably set it with powder because I'll be sweating. Okay, so do you guys see that with the neck and face? Okay, let's go back to color. Okay. Can you wear color when you're over 35? Yes, you can. It all depends on your guys' mindset and attitude. I have one of our workers that works for Makeup Geek. Her name is Joyce. Hi, Joyce. I don't know if she'll watch this at all. She is 83. She has hair parted to the side. She has like a streaked highlighted hair. She wears green foiled shadow and she pulls it off and looks beautiful because she feels confident in it and she loves it. I don't want you guys to think, oh, I'm over 35. I can't wear this. I can't wear that. Yes, you can. But if you guys are concerned about it being too much and maybe you're going to work and you want to wear color, but you don't want to do full rainbow look, strategic placement is everything for it. So what I like to do is take a bright color. So let me show you. Let's do a purple. Let's do this guy right here. So this is the color. Back to the fuchsia. You guys did such a great job naming these. You guys name these. I'm gonna take a dome brush like this. If I want to wear color, I'll do it in a specific spot. So I'll pop it here under the lower lash line. There's my color. And maybe up here to keep it neutral, I'll go in with my neutral colors and I'll just stick with this up on the eye, but I'll do a bright pop under here. Or if you guys want to do it in a different spot, just pick one spot to wear color. That's it, just one. You can go in with a brush like this, a dome brush. You can go with that same color, back to the fuchsia. Look how bright it is. You can put it maybe just on the outer corner. Sorry. Did you guys just see that? That's how pigmented they are. I literally just stuck my finger in the shadow and stuck it on there. Hold on. You guys get to see all sorts of fun stuff on lives, don't you? Oh, Lord, help us today. Okay, let me reset this with some powder. I'm gonna take that brush. We're gonna go in with the powder here. So pale. We're gonna set our lids with this because I'm a little oily right there. Okay, and I haven't done my brows and all this stuff, I know. Bear with me. Okay, bright color. If I don't want to do it under here, maybe I want a little color out here. Strategic placement. I'm just going to put it out in the outer part. I'm going to buff it out and smoke it out. There's my color. And then keep everything around it really neutral. Dang, that's really pretty. I like that. But this doesn't seem too crazy because we're just picking one spot and we're just applying the color. So this is a great way, you guys, to wear color, but not feeling like it's too much. It's still work appropriate. I really like that. That's really pretty. Can you guys see that? I don't know if the light's blinding it out a bit, but it's really, really pretty. And then what you do, you just take the brush, go in with, you know, my normal crease colors like Honey Badger or Creme Brulee or something like that. Go in with a neutral and kind of blend up here. Like this. You guys see that? Excuse my crazy brows. I know I didn't fill them in. And then I'll go in with a lighter color or highlight color up here and kind of do that. It's so easy, but there you go. There's your color. If you want a little more, pick up some more of that back to the fuchsia. Look how pretty. You guys, please wear color. Don't tell me that once you hit 35 that you'll only wear neutrals. Come on, life's too short. Wear color. Why did you name that color Honey Badger? It is actually my family's nickname for me. I'm gonna do this side, you guys, while we're talking. So my cousin Jessica, she's like my sister. Her nickname for me is Honey Badger because I do what I want. I don't really pay attention to what everyone else wants for me because that's just how I am. I'm stubborn. I don't know if it's the Italian and German in me or what, but I've always been really stubborn. Like, I want to do what I want to do, and that's that. So she calls me Honey Badger. So that's where that name came from. It's a pet nickname that my family calls me because whenever I do something and they're like, "You're such a honey badger," I was like, "I know." So that's where that came from. A little shimmer on the lids hides some wrinkles. Yes, it does. So that's our next question. Can you, if you are older, can you wear shimmer? Yes. My mom wears foiled shadows every day on her lids. My mom, hope she doesn't kill me. Love you, Mom. My mom's 65. She looks gorgeous. Like, you guys, when she puts foiled eyeshadows on her lid, she looks stunning. Her eyes pop and she looks so and she'll wear color too. Like, she'll wear purples almost every day. She wears our shadow Caitlin Rose. That's her favorite. And it's our purple foil shadow and she loves it and she looks beautiful. So let me keep doing this look, you guys, and I'm going to pop a foil on the lid so you guys can see. So this is Honey Badger and back to the fuchsia. You go, Mama Marlena. You do you. Hell yes. So crazy. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? I don't. I wish I spoke German. I don't. My dad's German. My mom's Italian. But long story short, I'm actually French more than anything. I did that DNA test and I'm almost 50% French, which makes sense because I'm obsessed with France and it's my favorite place on the earth. I never understood why, and I guess that's why. It's because I'm part French. Okay, so look how pretty that is. Okay, so that's how you guys wear colors, just honestly strategic placement. Okay, let's do a foil on the lid. So if you have hooded lids, I always recommend you go light on the lid to make them pop. If you guys want more techniques on that, watch my last video on the eye techniques. I go into detail about which techniques work for different eye shapes. So yes, I'm 59 and I still wear shimmers. Hell yes, you better. I hate when people are like, oh, because I just turned 40 and they're like, you can't wear this because you're 40. I'm like, Honey Badger, I will wear that if I want to. I don't care if I'm 40. Okay, I'm going to go in. My favorite shimmer personally is in the Spotlight. It's the peachy one right here. For me, it's really flattering. If you have deep skin, I really like Legend is really pretty. On deep skin, I love Medieval. Even Illuminati is really pretty, but for fair skin, I like in here. So I'm going to take a flat brush, and this one I've worn all the time. I like Grandstand too. That's a really pretty one. Okay, so let me show you guys. Look at my eyes. I know I'm not in my 60s yet, but I've got my lids are starting to crease down and all of that stuff. So hold on, this is driving me crazy out here. I've got to blend this a little bit more. I've got this little divot right here. Since I got older too, I lost my volume in there, so I have to over blend this right here. It's such a pain in the butt. I hate doing that, but it is what it is. Okay, so take your foiled shadow and look at the difference between my eyes. Look how bright and awake and lively this one looks. This one isn't bad either, but do you see how that really pops my eyelid? I really love this combo. I love purples and warm browns with peaches. I think it's really pretty. So that's how you wear it. I'm Italian and German too, more Italian than German, but same combo. Yep, I feel you, Deborah. I'm the same. I got my DNA test. I called my mom. I was like, you guys lied to me. You told me I was half Italian, half German. I'm French. I've got a little German in there too. I have like 9% Italian. I was like, what happened, Mom? You guys told me that you're Italian. I was expecting like at least 50% Italian and I wasn't. So crazy. So there's that too. Yes, weird color no matter the age. Okay, so you guys have a question about hooded lids and it creasing. So if you, the foiled shadows, if you do wear them and you have a hooded lid, it can crease some. So that's where I really recommend you take a, you just take a dome brush and you go in here with a matte color. If you wear a matte on your hood and shimmer down here, it's gonna help prevent creasing because the matte is very dry. So I always recommend coming into the crease. Let's pick up some more Honey Badger. I would recommend coming in here with a matte shadow. And that's gonna help stop that oil because it doesn't have oil in it. It's very dry. So that's what I'd recommend for that. Just like that. Okay, let me answer a few more questions and then I will demonstrate anything else that you guys have. Okay, so KS, her username is GNRTSO. How do I do my makeup to complement my age? I want to look younger and put together, and I'm always bombarded by extreme contours, highlights for miles, and the dreaded cut crease. So this technique I think would work well for you guys, where it's just a strategic color placement. You don't have to put the foil down. You could just do a little color here, a little color here. And then for contouring, the trick for you guys to get that to be very blended is creams. If you start doing this baking and striping and all of that, you want to blend this out a bit. So look, I'm still contoured, I'm a little bronzed up here, but it's not like this harsh streak because I didn't do this baking line, I didn't carve it out, I just blended upwards, and then I kind of buffed this out so it's a soft contour. So that's a way to do that. So let me see. What was another one? Can we wear fun colors and glitter? Jen, check with the pan. We answered that one. Alicia tweets too, says, it doesn't matter what I put under my under eye, it always looks cakey. I love techniques or products that work well on mature under eyes. So did that help you guys at all? Saying, for me personally, my product recommendations would be Dermablend foundation or any highly pigmented foundation. I like using foundations more than concealers personally under the eyes because I feel like they're thinner. Concealers can be a lot thicker. So I like using foundations instead. And I like using a brush like this, something that's very dome. This is the IT Cosmetics Concealer Pro Brush, the airbrush, something that's very fluffy. And then set it with just a little bit of pressed powder or loose powder, just a very light layer of powder, and it's not gonna get cakey or creasy. Creasing or cakey. Anyways, I've heard that Dermablend is really good. If you guys can't find Dermablend, it's at Ulta. The Cover FX drops are really good too. Okay, I'm gonna put on my mascara. We're not gonna do lashes today. See, nobody got time for that. And I'll do my brows later. So I'm using the L'Oreal Voluminous. And another thing too, with as we get older, really using a dark mascara or even dropping in some small like single lashes or trio lashes really help bring definition to the eyes without it feeling too much with the full layer of lashes. So this I feel like is very work appropriate. You can see my lashes. We're gonna tight line up in there too. Have you tried the number 7 pigment drops? I haven't. I wonder if they have those at the drugstore. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys a little bit. This is another trick I have. I don't know if you can see it on camera. I feel like I need a little more coverage in here. You can apply foundation over powder, and I wouldn't reset it again. So I'm gonna show you one more trick. We're gonna put more of those drops down, and that technique I did earlier. I'm gonna take this. Let me get in so you guys can see. Do you see how it's still, it's a little dark? It doesn't seem like it on camera, but in person, I feel like I could use a little more coverage. So yes, I put powder down, but because I put so little, I can actually go over it with this foundation because it is so creamy and lightweight. It's not gonna get cakey. Do you guys see how that's brightening everything up? And I come down here, I do that kind of V shape like this. Can you see it? Vivian's like, can see it, I can see it. L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara in Burgundy is my jam. I haven't tried that one. I haven't seen, where did you get the burgundy one? Give me your secrets. I haven't seen that. I would love to try a burgundy. That'd be really pretty. Can you guys see? It's not cakey, right? It's not. I think the e.l.f. Putty Primer A Touch of Silk is amazing. I have that one. I got a little sample size of it, this one. I don't know, I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. I know everyone's been talking about it. It does feel really smooth and all that, but I found I haven't been using primers as much lately. I don't know why. I feel like my skin, I don't know. I feel like the more stuff I start packing on, it starts to get thicker. And so I just stopped using face primers altogether. I don't know. What mascara is your favorite that doesn't flake? What would you recommend for long bottom eyelashes? I have long bottom eyelashes too. I still like the L'Oreal Voluminous one. If they flake or whatever on you, or if they sweat off, get the waterproof one. I like that one a lot. I'll let other people recommend. How do you get mascara from running under the eyes? Setting with just a little powder under here is going to help a lot, and using a waterproof mascara. Those are probably the best ways to get them from doing that. Sorry, it's driving me crazy that I have uneven lashes. We're going to do this. What specific IT Cosmetics brush in that? It's the Pro Concealer Brush. They have it on, I think, Ulta, maybe Sephora, I'm not sure. So let me put this on here, just like that. Mascara on there. What sunscreen do I use? I know this sounds horrible. I'm allergic to a lot of sunscreens. The one that I need to go out and get some more, it starts with an E. It's Elma. It's the one, it doesn't have synthetic sunscreen. It's a natural one. I will try to look it up for you and bring it next time. I'm out right now because I haven't used it in a little while because I have not been out in the sun at all since I've been in Washington. Like literally there's not much sun here, but I'll try to find it. It starts with an E and it's an organic one. So it wasn't Herborian, it was a different one. I can't remember. It's known for having the synthetic ingredient that's made with sunscreen is called octinoxate, and I break out from that really easily. So you want to find something that's synthetic that uses minerals instead of the octinoxate. So that's pretty much, I've got to do my brows and all of that. We'll do them really quick. Why not? We've got time. We're all stuck at home. We're all stuck at home. Let's do that. I see you guys that there's some, I don't have my team on monitoring today because it is the weekend and I didn't want to expect them to work on a Sunday. So that's why I'm so sorry that I will have more monitoring on Thursday. I just didn't feel right about asking them to work today. So I do apologize for that. Okay, so I'm using the Benefit Brow Pencil. This is the color 3.5. I'm just doing very light strokes under here. And I do have my brows microbladed. It's actually nano needling. It's like a mixture between microblading and tattooing. You just do that. And then I like to just do a couple strokes like this, because I know it's the kind of furry natural brows are in. And I just brush them up like that. That's kind of how I'm doing my brows, just really easy and really natural, the best I can. My brows are not my favorite feature because they are very coarse, but they're very thin, so I really have to build them up. Okay, so that's kind of my overall look for there. Oh, thanks so much, Brandy. I might take you up on that. Okay, do you guys have any more questions on 35 and older skin? What do you guys think? Would you do this technique? Look, it's very fresh, it's very dewy, but I don't feel that this creases on me because I set it with just that light layer of powder. So again, let me show you just under the eyes. Highly pigmented foundation, really light layer. I can probably afford to do another just light layer on here because I'm doing very thin layers, very thin. Like that's all the powder I'm using. I am like really not trying to dip that brush in much. Just set it lightly. How about creepy under eyes? Same thing. I would use powder only if you have to. If you feel like it's creasing, then do it then. But at all costs, try not to put much powder on your face. That's the #1 thing that's going to make us look older and drier and thicker and cakier is all the powder. So I'm totally against powders for older skin. I like using rich creams as much as possible. Why am I doing Elta? That's the one. Elta MB. Yes. That's the one. Thank you. That's the sunscreen I was trying to think of. I was like, it starts with an E. Cream contour and bronzer recommendations. I love the Fenty ones. I know Chanel has a cream bronzer, but it's really pricey. So for me, I've been using this. If you guys have recommendations, I'd love to hear because I'd like to see that. How far out from the lid should you take the shadow? Are you talking about like the foil here or out here? You can take it out as far as you want. I usually come just to the end of my brow out here. And then the foiled shadow you can put all over the lid or you can just put in the inner corner. It's completely your preference on what you feel looks good. What kind of foundation is it, matte or sheer? Are you talking about like this one? This is full coverage. Does Fenty Cream Contour have a cool tone? You know, I'm not sure. Let me swatch it for you guys. I feel like this is pretty neutral. It doesn't seem too warm, but it's not too cool. It's pretty much down the road neutral. So I would try that one. Maybe, you know, I think they might have sample sizes. I think they had like the travel ones. Nude sticks. I haven't tried nude sticks. How do you like that formula? Is it good? What powder do you use again? So I just been using the pressed one. I just use the Makeup Geek eyeshadows. This is an eyeshadow in So Pale. If I want loose powder, I like the Fenty one, but I also like the Laura Mercier, this one. This one's actually really pretty, the mineral powder. I like Laura Mercier's powder. Those are really good. Aw. Well, thanks you guys so much. I hope everyone is staying safe. I hope everyone's just, you know, doing the best we can to get through this tough time and everything. And I hope this was just a fun distraction for you guys. I'm going to do my other class on Thursday at 11 a.m. normal time. I'll keep doing them at that time until I feel like it doesn't work. But if Sundays are better, let me know. I just feel bad asking my team to work on the weekends. So that's why I did Thursdays. But anyways, thanks you guys so much for joining me. I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. Stay safe, watch lots of fun movies and stuff like that, and try to like come to an inner peace, because that's what I'm doing too. So thanks you guys. Oh, mug restock is happening hopefully next week. We got product in. I'm just waiting for the labels. My team has to assemble all of that this coming week. They are still working temporarily until we feel otherwise, and then if they don't feel well, we're asking them to stay home. But for now, it hasn't been as bad in Michigan, fortunately, so we're kind of just taking a day at a time. So we'll update you guys as far as what's going on for the team. But as far as for right now, you know, we don't have a retail store. Everything's kind of separated into a warehouse, and we're just monitoring everything. So next week, hopefully. Yay. Thanks, you guys. Have a good one. I'll talk to you later. Bye.